With Levon Aronian here after a great win against Maxime Vacher-Lagrave, you went into the Lions den, you came with preparation, you took the knight erf, and you found this move, Rook HF1. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration of this.
I didn't really find it. When I was struggling with some health issues in India, it was that they were preparing Fabi for knight erf. I think it was against Marsudlu. And Robert Hess came up with this idea to play Rook F1 here.
Grandmaster Robert Hess, the coach of the U.S. Olympics team in India.
And then we analyzed it a bit, and we gave Fabi a green light. And, well, it didn't happen on his board, but I think we both were looking for an opportunity to play this very interesting idea.
And tell us a little bit, what is the point of putting the rook on f1 rather than the normal rook he1?
Yeah, quite often you get this, I mean, when black, for example, makes a long castle here, quite often you have to play like c4, let's say knight f4, bishop e6, bishop f6, bishop f6, bishop e4, knight e6, knight a5, knight c5. And if the rook on e1, if the rook is standing on e1, then we don't have those options to play b4 here, because b4 f take e at some point.
But here, the rook is hitting the bishop.
And then queen to d5. And also, just in case, rook on f1, I mean, we're kind of stopping some ideas because we want to play f4 at all times.
Right.
So it's, I won't say it's granting white any advantage, but it's a new try, and I thought, why not?
Now, engines were saying that knight h7 was the best move in this position, and after a very long think, Maxime found it. Were you surprised that he played what seems like a bit of an inhuman move?
No, I'm not surprised because he's a very strong player, but I think at one moment, he of course found this best idea. At one moment, he just got careless on move number 19. Of course, rook h7 is the move.
We were wondering, what is the difference?
With rook h7, he manages to put the king on f8 faster, and there is never like danger for him starting from the queen h6 check.
Right.
Because he always gets it.
Yeah, because the rook is just defending.
Yeah. So it's just safer for his king, and also rook can be surprisingly effective at protecting the f7 pawn in different lines. So this was the way to equalize.
But you knew about rook g8. Tell us a little bit about where your knowledge ended.
I knew that rook g8 is not the right move, and here I just thought, and I thought, well, knight a5 looks quite logical.
Right, knight a5 in this position. Play continued, king f8, bishop b4, king g7, and after queen takes d6, did you feel you were in control?
Yeah, this looks like a very nice position, but I think later on I started playing suboptimal moves. I think I gave him some chances. Maybe I should have just grabbed the bloody pawn on e5.
Actually, we loved your move, rook e4. Objectively, according to my engine, it evaluated both as about the same amount of advantage. And we thought that from a practical perspective, considering his time situation, rook e4 was just a better move.
That's what I thought as well. But then somehow he got this counterplay. I mean, his Maxime is so resourceful with this h4, bishop g5. I think already here I was feeling that my advantage is slowly disappearing.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I thought, okay, a4. Well, with a4, of course, I allow rook takes c4, which I thought is very close to a draw.
This one, rook takes immediately. Pawn takes, rook takes.
Yeah, a5 and rook b4 check.
You can't go to the a file because you picked that up.
Yeah, and king c2, rook a4 still.
This is hanging, this is hanging.
Yeah, I was thinking that this is already a bit out of my control. I was thinking that maybe I have some rook b7 here, but this is
rook b7 with the
way
idea
too
of doubling.
Yeah, because rook a2 check here is also kind of unpleasant. Knight king b3, rook a5.
Ah, and then you just trade the rook.
Yeah. So I have to play some king c3, and I don't know if I have any winning chances here after some e4 or something like that.
Right, it gets messy. He didn't find that. He actually went for this variation with a5, e4, rook 7, d4. We loved this move, thought it was very clever during the time control.
Yeah, it was the only chance to win the game, I felt, because otherwise it just has too much counterplay. And that's the thing, he kind of, from distance he thought he has this rook b7 or rook b5, but then rook e4 is there, and he cannot recapture the pawn, because rook b3, king c2, rook b4, king c3.
Let me put that on the board, rook b7 or rook b5?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Take, check, rook here, and you're attacking both the rook and the bishop, and I'm assuming on rook b4 you have king c3,
Yeah.
right? Yes. You attack the rook and again the bishop on f4. So there's enough time to do that. And he blitzed out f5 with seconds
f5
almost.
was a bad move. I think
Yes.
rook e7 should be a draw.
Yeah, rook e7 is what the engines were suggesting as well. As we do have finally a result in this game. We had been expecting it for upwards of 3 hours by this point. Nepo has drawn against Favi. So going back into this analysis, rook e7 did seem to be good, but you got to this position out of time control. Did you feel that you were already winning in this endgame?
Yeah, I felt king h5 was a losing move. I felt that his only chance was bishop g5. But then I felt I have this clever rook takes f5, rook f5, knight d6. And, you know, my knight is very useful because I have this knight f7 check when he takes the pawn, or knight d4 when it goes rook f2 at
Knight
times.
d4 also, yeah.
Yeah.
Levon, it seems that you put a lot of pressure on your opponent on the board, but I've noticed on your style that you've also playing very quickly, almost reminding me of how Nepo wins a lot of his games. Is this on purpose?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn from my colleagues, and also, well, I haven't won a classical game for so long that I think I'm losing patience.
Well, this one was definitely a beautiful one with the ideas in the opening, in the middle game, and in the end game, winning all around. Thank you, Levon, for joining us, and
Thank
good
you
luck.
very much.
Levon, quick question. Annie help you with choosing the shirt?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You like it?
I
can
love
give it to
it.
you.
I love it. If you can get an extra large for me, you know, because of my swollen pectorals, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Levon.
This feels like...
Nice draw, by
Yeah.
the way. I love that bishop f3 by Favi. That really put a nice finishing